it just seems so abrupt, and you never think anything's going to happen to someone, especially someone like her.
When you would talk to her, just the engagement she had, you could tell just her joy, her passion for the kids right away. Even in just an early meeting, just her vision.
Anytime we had meetings, she would always, we'd go around the table and give our opinions for everything, and everything she would say in the final was always a question, well, what's best for the students and what's best for the kids?
I think one of the impressions I have that I love about thinking back about Miss Beckham was witnessing students who saw her maybe for the first time and literally behaved as if they had just seen a celebrity.
Miss Beckham would always come up to me in the hallway and always say, "Hey honey, how you doing?" And she was always really interested in what my academic future would be. I want to make her proud because I know that she would want this, you know.
And she was so supportive of the newspaper staff, of Tribe Talk, of Legend, of students, and she wanted them to have a voice and to have the opportunity to speak their minds and to have the chance to be creative.
She is the greatest leader that I've ever been around. She had the unique ability to lead in a way that you always felt like you wanted to do your very best for her.
Before any conversation started about school or work, she would always ask about my family. And she really cared about people as a person. And as a mom, from mom to mom, we cared about each other's families.
Wando was Miss Beckham's home. She made everyone who worked here and went to school here and everyone at all times feel like this was home.
Miss Beckham wasn't just our principal, she was our mom and the chief of our warrior tribe.
Welcome to the first episode of the new semester. I'm Mara Noonan.
And I'm Tommy Fairbairn. First off, Savvy Hodson gives us a scoop on a new movie that came out not too long ago.
It didn't just live up to my expectation, it blew it out of the water. Like, really, I can only describe the sound effects. Just.
Good. Did Star Wars live up to your expectations?
Yes.
Good, I can tell. You're a big Star Wars fan?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
I thought it was the best one yet, best movie yet.
What did you like about it?
I love the whole search for Luke Skywalker. I love the action was amazing in it. I love that they brought back some of the original characters because the age I am, I was really big into Star Wars in the first movies when they came.
Well, the movie was really good, but I think it catered to fans a little much with like bringing people back in, you know. But that's just me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So, what did you think about The Force Awakens? Greatest movie of our lives. Go see it. I have TVs. Oh, look at that. Can you do any impressions? Nice.
It was actually really good. Like I was kind of surprised. I haven't had a Star Wars movie in forever, and I was super hyped.
Yeah. I loved it. What did you like about it? I got to spend time with my sister. Ooh, I like it. As students return from winter break, they are welcomed back with an unwanted surprise. Jenna Slokowski reports.
On Wednesday, January 6th, an announcement was made to Wando students stating that there would be a different exam exemption policy implemented before their final exams the following week. Prior to the 2014-2015 school year, students needed a 93 or above in their class and no unexcused absences in order to exempt the exam. Last year, CCSD implemented a pilot policy which only allowed seniors to exempt their exams with a grade of 85 or above.
You guys were told in your student handbook that if you made an 85 or above, you would exempt your exam. The board had no idea you guys were not being told the policy as it's written in our policy manual, and you had no idea that what you were being told was not the policy.
Going from a class with, maybe 10 people taking the exam all of a sudden to maybe the whole class taking the exam, it could be very stressful having to prepare extra students for that when you thought that you kind of had all your ducks in the row.
Many students were furious about the policy and took to social media to voice their opinions and try to bring about change.
When I made the petition, I put the superintendent of the CCSD school board, so every time someone signed the petition, that was an email to their inbox.
Definitely the backlash that came towards the district office, I'm sure they got a lot of phone calls, a lot of tweets in their direction. That definitely probably played a role in them changing the policy back to the one that was in the student handbook, which was the contract that you signed at the beginning of the year.
I think it's very clear. The first thing we need to do is take care of our students and meet our commitment to them. How you got told that an 85 was okay is not your issue.
The new one now is seniors have to have an 85 or above to exempt, and underclassmen have to have a 93 or above to exempt.
Thanks to the cooperation of the CCSD community, the issue has now been resolved. This has been Jenna Silkowski reporting for Tribe Talk.
Wando's very own Warrior Ambassadors volunteer to help Lang's aspiring scholars achieve success.
Jack Oxford reports on the program.
The Lain Leaders program is helping to inspire African American students at Lang by helping them focus on their performance in and out of the classroom.
You have to maintain A's and B's because if you don't, you're basically slacking off and you won't have as much success if you you really think you will.
You have to act a certain way. You wouldn't want to have horrible behavior to become a Lain Leader because you have this title you have to cooperate with, and you have to maintain your grades as well.
It's gonna help me get into my AP classes in high school and hopefully help me with my college, going to college.
To help achieve this mission, mentors have been selected from the community and from Wando to help the students branch out.
I have a Wando mentor, her name is Megan. We will just talk about college and high school and how to prepare.
It was very nerve-wracking to have to go to a school with 4,000 people, and I'm hoping that I'm helping her be more calm about going, and hopefully I can give her some advice that she can take into consideration while she's there.
Peter Mixon, he's a good mentor. He's a firefighter, and he usually comes once a month to basically talk about grades, how I'm doing.
Speaking from Terrell, my student, very well-mannered, good home life, doing great in school. Kind of give him somebody to talk to that's different than his parents or his teachers, and give him some advice for the future and help him continue to grow.
I really learned a lot because I haven't really had that personal connection to where I can ask how is this different from middle school. It's really helpful.
She's very easy to talk to and very outgoing person, and I really enjoy getting to talk to her and get to know her.
It's very cool to have a mentor and to talk to on a serious note.
Through helping him, it makes me feel good. I'm glad to help.
This has been Jack Oxford reporting for Tribe Talk.
Student Council will be holding a second Spirit Week starting Monday, January 25th. Monday is Athletes vs. Mathletes. Tuesday is Tie Day in honor of Joe Kutcher. Wednesday is Aliens vs. Superheroes. Thursday is Country vs. Country Club. And Friday is Whiteout to support the basketball players. That same week, students and teachers can vote for the faculty Duke and Duchess by putting money in your favorite staff member's jar. Jars will be in each of the lunchrooms, and all donations will go to MUSC Children's Hospital. Your Duke and Duchess nominations are Mr. Caston, Mr. Sneed, Mr. Corning, Mr. Sox, Coach Hayes, Miss Watkins, Miss Lowry, Miss Drayton, Miss Worthington, and Miss Allegretto. Head out to Qdoba on January 26th or Canes on January 28th to help support student council's donations to MUSC's Children's Hospital.
Around the world, hundreds of thousands of people are being affected by allergy season. Let me let you in on a little well-known secret. At the rate we're going, things are about to get worse. A lot worse. What is doing this, one may ask? Global warming. Wait, is that the same global warming melting the glaciers and causing us to see so many sad polar bears? This same concept of higher temperatures has caused the world to have much more pollen for allergy season, 1.8 times to be exact. But a stuffy nose is the least you should be worried about. How about the increase of natural disasters? Extreme temperatures, droughts, floods, heat waves, you name it. Oh, but don't forget about the polar bears. But seriously, with a global population of 7.4 billion and growing, a major hit to our crop production will be devastating. So how do we stop all this from continuing? Well, it all starts with you. No, not me. You, the thousands of people watching. Do your part. Use the recycling bin. Turn down your heat a few degrees. When you leave the house, turn the lights off. And sign a few petitions against polluting factories. Do you want the whole world to look like Beijing? No, you can hardly see the sun. Look, the world is our home, and it can't take the abuse forever. It all starts with you. Not me. You. Make the change, and save our home before it's too late.
Sexism.
A controversial subject in today's society and a prevalent topic of discussion in the hallways.
Whether you're male or female, sexism can have a major impact on your life.
It's not like you walk down the hallway and you're like, sexism, 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 but it's definitely like an issue that I've seen like every single year at Wando.
I see sexism in Wando the same place I see fairies and unicorns.
If sexism exists in the greater society, then it must exist in Wando. Wando is a small microcosm. It's supposed to be reflective of what's going on outside of the walls of this school.
It's when you start breaking down the micro aspects of society and you see the way a guy looks at a girl, yeah, that's a problem, but what are you going to do, put blinders on every guy and have them walk around in the hallways like that, like a horse?
Out of 100 students, 24% believed sexism was a problem, while 63% said it wasn't prevalent in Wando.
When I hear the word sexism, I think of real problems that exist in America, like the wage gap and the fact that women are oppressed in many ways, but I don't think things at Wando, like the dress code, are sexist.
They think it's not a real cause because they have no idea what it's like to be in our situation.
Yeah, they can't see outside of what affects them.
One Wando policy that has been continually addressed pertaining to sexism is dress code.
A disproportionate number of young girls are violating or are found to be in violation of the dress code than our boys.
Every girl has a different body, and if you have one dress code for one type of body, it's not going to be able to match everybody else's body.
Although some people have disillusion towards the concept of feminism, the first step to understanding it is education.
You know, I've always been a feminist, and I think people have this idea of feminism too that is just deranged. You know, people think that necessarily a feminist is an advocate, and a loud-spoken, a man-hating advocate, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Anybody who believes that women should be equal to men in every context is a feminist.
You just have to educate, open your mind to it, and like recognize that it is a problem.
You know, there were a series of signs or postings in the hallways, it wasn't too long ago, stating unabashedly that the Wando dress code was sexist. Those signs were taken down, when in fact, that's exactly what we need. We need people to start understanding what feminism really is and what it is not.
This has been Logan Swimford reporting for Tribe Talk.
Downtown Charleston has a large homeless population that has grown in recent years. The growth has prompted Charleston to pass new laws.
Ricky Schmidt has a story.
Up until just a few days ago, here at the exit of Meeting Street into downtown Charleston, one could always find panhandlers looking for cars for donations. This all ended with a recent ordinance passed by Charleston County.
It all began with a vote held back on August 18th. The City Council passed the ordinance with a majority decision, calling panhandling on the side of the road a dangerous practice.
It's up to a $1,092 citation or up to 30 days in jail.
Well, the homeless can't pay the fine. The homeless, if they're standing out on the side of the road with a sign asking for petty change, there is no way that that individual would be able to pay that fine. So they are being sent to jail.
In order to educate the homeless community, officers dispersed flyers before the ordinance was passed.
The officers handed them out all over the place. They did a really good job of getting the word out. The idea behind the roadway safety ordinance is to allow the free flow of traffic, along with countering that with pedestrian safety in all areas. So the idea is we don't want people stepping into traffic.
Despite the proclaimed safety purposes, many still believe the ordinance is for appearance.
Essentially, this ordinance isn't really for safety, it's for aesthetics. We have so much tourism down here. They don't want a homeless person sitting on the side of the road asking for money because it's Charleston, it's supposed to be pretty.
So I just think it kind of takes away from the city. I think it just, it hinders people when they come down here to be able to just enjoy their time without being harassed or asked.
I think it's fair, yeah. They shouldn't go in the streets it's dangerous, you know, they shouldn't, no. If there's some place where they're not going to get run over.
I agree with it on the basis of a safety issue. Like I said, it is against the law to cause a traffic problem or any traffic violation.
Put it this way, the act of panhandling is not illegal on the street corners, okay? If somebody can technically hold a sign and still panhandle, that's not illegal. What is illegal is the act of stepping into the roadway to retrieve something from a car.
This has been Ricky Schmidt reporting.
Welcome, Wando. This is Riley Biller on this New Year's edition of Sports Talk. On Saturday, January 9th, the girls and boys basketball team swept Bishop England at home, the boys winning by a score of 58-36 and the girls winning by a score of 80-54. This is the first time the girls have beat the Lady Bishop since 2011. The next home game is tonight, starting at 6 p.m. Good luck to our boys and girls. Also, congrats to our wrestling team who went to Cane Bay High School on January 6th and won. All right, let's kick it to Ricky, who has the story on eligibility.
Wando holds a variety of state-winning teams and is called home by many talented players. But still, a few athletes are set apart.
I actually started playing basketball pretty late. I was a late bloomer. I started in like 7th grade, and it first started off as like just a hobby, just something fun to do, and then I actually just enjoyed it a lot. When I wasn't playing for Wando, I was playing AAU, which is basically like travel basketball, where you travel all over the nation and play basketball. And I played with a team called Low Country Elite.
Unfortunately, JD, like a handful of other basketball players, has been kept from time on Wando's court.
A couple things that keep players eligible is age. If you turn 19 during the school year, you can be eligible, but if you turn 19 before the school year starts, then you can't be eligible for that season. You also have to pass 5 out of 8 classes from the previous year, and you have to have a certain passing percentage. It's 70%.
I wasn't able to play the first couple of years in high school because I was a bit immature back then. I didn't make the best decisions, and you know, that affected me. You make a decision, you have a consequence, you know? I can't play this year because I'm actually too old. I turned 19 in August 16th.
After losing 10 seniors from last season and a number of ineligible athletes, Coach W looks to reinvent his young team.
It's a whole new system, you know, new plays, you know, new defenses, kind of things like that. So having young players, you know, I'll know that I'll have them for a couple of years, and so, you know, it's been a tough season, you know, and I think we're playing really well right now, so they're starting to understand what I'm looking and asking from them.
Although the opportunity of high school ball is gone, JD would take nothing back.
I used to think back then that I regretted the decisions that I've made, but now that I've grown up and I've matured a lot, I don't regret any decision I've made because it's brought me to the point to where I am now. And in life, you're going to make mistakes, but you just got to learn from them.
This has been Ricky Schmidt reporting.
Thanks for watching, Wando. This has been Tommy Fairbairn
And Mara Noonan. Stay tuned for Tribe Talk Presents.